Hello, people of the internet, and today I bring you chapter 1 of Eternal Memory. But the story has changed a bit. Remember how I said it was in the making? He didn't really like his choice of where he originated his character. He wanted him to be more of a badass. So, he made him originate from Texas. Doesn't go to school anymore, lives on a farm, works on a farm, and his dad works on a battleship. Yep, a battleship. Anyways, as I was saying, he changed the story a bit, made it a bit cooler for the character, and I hope you enjoy this. I have with me the voice actor that's going to be doing a Texas accent as much as he can. Say hello, Bob. Hello. Yes, I'm pretty sure this isn't a good Texas accent, but I will try my best for you, Vinny. Thank you, Bob. He shall be the narrator and all that. Narrator, sorry, I was just checking something. And if you hear anything in the background, that's because I'm watching the movie Riddick. So, please try and ignore music in the background. In fact, I'll go turn it down for you. Sorry for telling you that. It's just that I was bored watching Riddick and decided to read this chapter because the rate of it told me it was out. So, yeah. Chapter 1 of Eternal Memory. The loss of a ship and the gain of a new life. Take it away, Bob. That means the chapter's starting now. So, yeah, anything said from now on is within this story. Enjoy Chapter 1, Eternal Memory, a loss of a ship and a gain of a new life. Hello, my name's Sam. Short name, yeah. But, I digress. This is my story. The story that changed my life. I was young, I was stupid. I live on a farm. I work on a farm. And that teaches you a couple of things. It teaches you how to take care of life that is not sentient, such as cattle and any other kind of animal you can get that will work for you, such as noble steeds, as you English or Americans call them. Of course, I'm from Texas, but living in Texas is harder than you think. It's not all fun and games, cowboys and guns. It's hard work. My daddy, he's in the Navy for America. He's on the ship called the Deep Blue. And today I was visiting him. And the Big Blue. I was gonna get a tour of it. So my mama was driving me there in a, well, SUV. It's not a nice car. In fact, it's gotten pretty beaten up in the past. But it's quite a nice car for getting across American roads. It's not a good car for the Texas deserts. That's why we rarely use it, and why we refer to our horses for getting across to the towns. Yes, you may say that makes me sound more like a cowboy. Well, shut up. Because I'm not a cowboy. I'm a farmer. But that will all soon change. It was 2018. I was 12. It was May the 15th. I was going to visit that ship. My mama dropped me off just in front of my daddy. She drove off without a word. My daddy said to me, right after she left, "Son, it's nice to see you. What have you been doing out here?" And then that's when I replied, "Dad, you told me I was going to take a tour of the ship." "Oh yeah, I was, wasn't I? Oh, I'm losing this old memory of mine, wasn't I, kid?" Yes, you are, Daddy. What? You're still good for Navy fighting, yeah? That's why I invited you here, son. See, Deep Blue's going out of business. We're all retiring. This old ship's not good enough for the modern day fighting. We're all too old to fight. But me and the boys have agreed to show you the ship as much as we can. So that day, I learned more about the ship than anything. I learned that it runs on fire caused by oil in the fumes of the engine. It purrs like a kitten, but it can burst your eardrums if you're too sensitive with your ears. Yeah, so try and keep headphones if it's your first time hearing an engine. Of course, it wasn't my first time. I got closer to the engine every time I visited. I got a big toiler ship. It had 2 cannons on the front, bigger than any other cannons on the ship. 3 barrels each on them. 4 cannons on that port side thingy where the people would stay and drive the ship and all that. They had 2 cannons each. They would watch the sides of the ship. On the back of it were 2 more small cannons with 1 barrel. They would cover the back of the ship. Not as much effective, but they would keep you safe. Anyways, so that day I went home. I looked after the cattle, milked them as well. Then I went to look after the crops. That night, I saw a shooting star. And then I remember what my mama told me. Never miss an opportunity. So, what I did was I wished on that star. I wished for a better life with the 3 things my daddy loved the most. His battleship, his combat knives, and that radio was that track that he would always play before going out to sea. Oh, I remember that old track. That night when I went to sleep, early, by the way, that meant tomorrow I was going to have a lot more work to do. But after that, it was quite an interesting night. Because what happened was, I didn't wake up on my bed. I woke up on a metal surface. A metal surface. It was also swaying. I could smell ocean vault. I could smell ocean for miles around. That meant one thing only. I stood up, I opened my eyes, and I was on the deep blue. The deep blue, that meant one thing. My wish came true. I looked down, I saw 2 combat knives, and I saw the radio my dad would always use. And another thing I saw is the one thing I didn't expect. The doors were open. I went down into the ship. It had enough supplies to last for 700 years. It looked like they were preparing for something. But of course, I guess it would only last me 700 years, 'cause I'm one man. This ship was designed for 600 men at once. These supplies would only last, 6 years was all those men. But with me, well, they would last for a long time. I ventured round the ship. Turned out all I was wearing was a pants with hole in them on the left side and a grayish-brown shirt. I walked around the ship. I walked around in the inside. The engine wasn't on. That meant the ship must have been still. I walked back out. The engines were not moving. I looked at the anchors. They were still up. That meant the ship was drifting. Of course, I didn't know how to get the ship moving. I just knew how to get it started. So I went, and I did the one thing my daddy taught me to do. When a situation comes on this boat that I'm gonna be alone. Of course, he expected the ship to last forever, and that I would be the captain of it one day. And if my crew died and I was the last one left, he taught me how to get the engine running. That was it. All I had to do was find a big metal stick with a big round edge so the engine couldn't leak oil, and find some way to get the end of it on fire. So I looked for those things, and what I found amused me so much that I just had to use it. Thank you, Bob, for that chapter 1. No problem. Can I quit the Texas accent now? Yes, you can. Thank God. Well, that was chapter 1 of Eternal Memory. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next time.